About a month ago, I made a video testing Empower here in Houston to see whether drivers really keep 100% of the fare. Since then, I've completed more rides, changed a few important settings, learned more about how the platform actually works, and I've been researching one of the biggest questions drivers keep asking me: insurance. So here's my latest update. I'll show you how many rides I've completed so far, a couple of app settings that made a difference, and my thoughts on whether Empower is continuing to grow here in Houston. Okay, so let's look at my earnings. So far this week, I've made $124.59. Last week, I made $166.99. And I believe that's my highest earning week so far. If I look at the monthly earnings, I have 2 full months of using Empower. In May, I made $263.40, and in June, I made $464.51. So I have seen more rides. I had 16 rides in May and then 33 rides in June. So that's double the amount. And I'm just running it in the background while I'm doing Uber because it's not enough rides to do full time. But I do see an increase. So that's encouraging. But overall, so far, my total, basically 2 full months and a few extra days, I've made $792.61, 55 rides, 365.8 miles, and 12 hours and 0 minutes. Comparing that to Uber and Lyft, with Uber and Lyft, I would have made $475.57 approximately. So that's my earning update. I just wanted to show you a couple of tips that I've learned over the last month. And the first one has to do with ride filters. If you go to ride filters, then click on Max Pickup ETA. They have it set to 20 minutes. That's their suggested, and that's the default. Well, I've found that when I got one pickup one day that was going to be a 19-minute pickup. But that pickup involved taking the tollway, and that was the fastest route. But I didn't want to pay a toll for on the way for a pickup, so I chose a different route that took longer. Took nearly 30 minutes for the pickup, and the actual ride was less than 10 minutes. But overall, the whole trip was about 40 minutes, maybe a little bit over, and I got paid a little less than $10. So to me, that is not better than an Uber ride. So I often see, for 30 minutes, I make about the same. And this seemed like a little bit less, and it did not seem like it was worth it. So what I did is I changed my ETA to 15 minutes. What I've learned, which is confusing by this language, is if you check this checkbox here that says use suggested max pickup ETA if fare is above, and then you put in what you want. I put 15. So that means if the ETA, the pickup, is longer than 15 minutes, I want to see the fare to be $15 or greater. So I haven't seen any rides like that one where I, spent 40 minutes for less than $10. So I guess that's working. I do like that setting because I don't want to have a long pickup like that. The other trick I learned was if you look at the minimum fare here, their suggested setting is $7. But I was seeing some rides that were, just $7 or just barely over. So what I'm saying is the total time for the pickup and the actual trip could be close to 30 minutes. It could be 25 or something like that, and $7 to me is not worth it. So what I did is I just increased my minimum fare to $10. And so I have seen a few rides that were $10 even. Well, maybe 2 or 3. And they were very short rides. So I suspect that normally would have been if my minimum was, 7, it would have been, closer to 7. But since I set this to 10, I got some $10 rides for very short rides. And as since I was able to complete the ride, the customer didn't cancel the ride because they thought it was too much or anything. Insurance was probably the most common question I received after my first Empower video, so I wanted to give you an update on what I found. Since then, I've spent quite a bit of time researching commercial insurance options for Empower. Unfortunately, I haven't found an affordable solution that makes financial sense for me right now. The quotes I've looked into would add a significant monthly expense, and with the number of Empower rides I'm currently receiving, I just can't justify that additional cost. So for now, I'm continuing to treat Empower as a supplemental source of income while I keep researching insurance options and watch how the platform grows here in Houston. If I eventually find a reasonably priced insurance solution, or if something changes in the industry, I'll definitely make another video and share what I learn. Overall, I'm encouraged what I've seen over the past month. Ride activity has been improving. I've learned a few things that have helped me get more out of the app, and I'm optimistic that Empower can continue to grow here in Houston. It's not replacing Uber for me today, but it's becoming a useful additional source of income. I'll continue sharing my real-world experience as I learn more. So if you'd like to follow along, consider subscribing. And if you're already driving for Empower, let me know in the comments what city you're driving in, how your experience has been, and whether you found an insurance solution that works for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.